As far as the dead stick goes, I'm going to show you right now.
Yeah.
You don't even need to pop it. Sometimes you can just leave it there, put it in gear, wind out the slack, and it'll get bit just sitting there. Just pop it once, maybe twice, and then just leave it. Just slowly wind out the slack. If you're barely bumping it forward, just leave it and they will just eat it on the dead stick. Like sometimes they just won't eat it when you're popping it fast.
Yeah.
You need to leave it there. You need to stop it. It makes all the difference in the world. You just slow it down and let it sit, and for whatever reason, they just love these clear poppers when they're just sitting there. Pop it, leave it. When it's just sitting there, they'll eat it. Literally gotten bit when the thing was sitting there for 10 seconds.
Please don't forget to support the Freedman Adventurers family members who make this all possible, like the taxman, Tim Marquez, and your garage door man, Joe Welker, who does a great job and gets rave reviews here at Freedman Adventures. Heating and or air conditioning needs, it's our dear friend, John Lopez. And also the Island Spirit, Ventura Sport Fishing. You can't beat it. Chris Isaac and the El Patron out of Long Beach Sport Fishing, www.longbeachsportfishing.org. And don't forget to visit Big Fish Bait and Tackle in Seal Beach, California, right there on the corner of Pacific Coast Highway and Seal Beach Boulevard. They've got all the bait tackle you'll need for a successful day on the water. Whether it's surf fishing or big game bluefin tuna, drop in and say hi to the folks at Big Fish Bait and Tackle in Seal Beach.
Get out of bed and wake up the kids, 'cause you know what time it is. It's time for the morning briefing. Fishing reports up and down the coast. Your Phil Friedman, your coffee-loving host. So much fishing intel, it feels like cheating when you tune into the morning briefing. Inshore, offshore, from the surf, bluefin, yellowtail, pod, surf, perch. They'll tell you where the fish are and what they're eating when you tune into the morning briefing. So give it a like and subscribe. Hit that bell to be notified of all the fishing content coming your way. Freedman Adventures is here to make your fishing day. It's a morning briefing. Morning briefing.
Good Saturday morning, everybody, and welcome to beautiful Surfside, California, where it is absolutely beautiful, sunny, warm, early this morning. It can't get any more lovely. We've got some great fishing to get you caught up on. Of course, we're going to go south of the border, check out Mexico Lindo. We're going to check out the long-range scene. What about our local islands? Are the Coronado Islands biting again? And how about our bluefin tuna bite here in Southern California? We're going to check out San Francisco, the Channel Islands, and everything in between. You know what time it is. It is time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. Wow, it's beautiful here today, and I can only imagine how warm that water is. Should I check it out? I usually wait, but man, I can't. Oh my God, I can feel it in the sand. It's beautiful, nice and warm. Where the heck are our Dorado, huh? They should be moving up in this nice warm water. Hey, if you don't mind, hit that like button, share these videos everywhere. Make sure you subscribe to the Freedman Adventures YouTube channel. And tick that rotten, filthy, disgusting little bell, and you'll be notified when there is new content. Of course, you can also follow us over there on Facebook, on TikTok, on Instagram, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Hey, before I get into the report, I got to tell you, my wife, Ruth, is nuts. I mean, she is nuts about the Cali Girl shirts and hoodies and hats that she recently got from Monique over there at Cali Girls. Man, I'll tell you, they are absolutely beautiful, and Ruth can't stop talking about them. I'm telling you right now, check out Cali Girls fishing apparel for ladies. You are gonna love it. All right, let's go south of the border. Let's start out at Cedros, where they're still catching yellowtail and they're catching halibut, but they're also catching white sea bass. There's some sea bass still hanging out at Cedros Island. It's been an unusual year down there. Maybe the yellowtail fishing has not been as good as what we're used to, but man, there's been halibut and white sea bass, off the hook calico bass fishing. It's been pretty exciting down there in that neck of the woods. We take you 140 miles down below the border, and down there around the San Quintin area still continued good yellowtail action. There is plenty of calico bass a little bit further, and even around there on the coastline we see some white sea bass. Jeff Lingle is down there this very morning, right now, trying to catch a sea bass. Last time I talked to him here shortly after daybreak, he had no white sea bass, but he'll probably be in the live chat here while this morning briefing premieres, and that's always such a treasure to have Jeff with us, who runs a yacht and takes only people who have security clearances out, so we don't mention the name of the yacht and we don't show any photos or video, but he's a great source and a great person. Jeff, I hope by the time this airs, you've got some sea bass on board. And then in the Ensenada area, we continue to see some really good yellowtail action down south of there around Punta Santo Tomas. We also see it around Todos Santos Island. There's barracuda flurries, there's good rockfish, there's good calico bass fishing. It's been pretty darn good. Carlos Cortez out of Popotla, 15-minute drive south of Rosarito Beach yesterday, had some outstanding bluefin tuna action. Yes, there is bluefin tuna offshore out of Ensenada. You could still take advantage of that and do really, really well. So nothing short of really great fishing for our brothers and sisters south of the border, down there catching a variety of fish. Let's talk long range. And man, long range is good. The Independents headed back to San Diego after another great trip where they had wahoo, they had yellowfin tuna, they had yellowtail. Excellent fishing. They spent their day on the beach yesterday catching calico bass and just plain having a really great time. And of course, that beautiful sushi spread. Man, you can't beat it. Jolene Thompson put a post up after she saw that sushi spread and said, I can't wait until the Freedman Adventures 8-day trip in November when we get to partake in that also. Me either. Also, out fishing right now is the Red Rooster 3, and they've managed some 100-plus pound yellowfin tuna here recently. The Intrepid yesterday morning had wide open yellowtail action, 18 to 25 pound yellows, biting the yo-yo, biting the surface iron, biting the bait. Spectacular fishing on our 8-day scene. That is not to say that every single day is wide open. Sometimes guys have a little bit of trouble and they got to move around, and they certainly do that. The Royal Polaris came up here, and speaking of having a little bit of trouble, it drove around all day long and just could not get on a spot of bluefin that really wanted to bite. And then in the last hour that they had to spend in that zone, they found some bluefin and they were biting, and they had really good fishing. Royal Polaris out of Fisherman's Landing in San Diego, California, with some really good fishing. It may have only been an hour, but they got in some licks on that nice grade bluefin tuna. Really great to see that. Hey, don't forget, we've got our final two-day trips running here shortly. I think we have 2 spots on each trip open. September 23rd will be on the Apollo 2-day trip out of Seaforth Sport Fishing. I love fishing out of Seaforth and the Apollo. Man, our trip this year was spectacular with those guys. And then we back it up. We may only have 1 spot on the Amigo. We may even be sold out by the time this airs. So if you'd like to join us October the 6th out of 22nd Street Landing, you want to join us on either one of those 2-day trips, please send me a text ASAP, and we'll get you signed up. 657-227-6450. 859. Bluefin tuna fishing overall remains really good right now. There's a daytime bite. Sometimes you struggle and have a hard time getting on it, and sometimes you get on some fish that are so big you just get your clock clean like the Thunderbird did yesterday. They got on some big grade fish that tore them up. And there's fish, or I guess I should say landings, that can access this bluefin tuna from San Diego all the way up to the Channel Islands, just to give you an idea that you can catch this bluefin out of most landings right now. A lot of this fish, 20 to 40 pounds, that daytime fish is in that grade sometimes, but then you'll run into fish over 100 pounds. And for sure, guys flying kites come up with 200-pound bluefin tuna on a fairly regular basis in the daytime. All right, let me give you a couple of scores, then we're going to check out what Jeff Lingle is doing. Tomahawk limits of bluefin tuna on their most recent trip with 100 BFT. Ranger 85 limits of bluefin tuna. The Freedom and the Amigo, both out of 22nd Street Landing in San Pedro, California, came up with a pop on the bluefin tuna, just a little bit up over a fish per rod. So some good fishing going on there. Aztec, 54 bluefin tuna. Highliner, 55 bluefin tuna. Pacific Voyager 3-day trip limits with 96 bluefin tuna. That is some darn good shooting, if you ask me. During the daytime, you will get those fish acting a little bit more finicky, it seems like. So you're going to have to really be observant and talk to the crew. My God, those guys are there every single day. Walk on board, make a friend, and make sure you talk to those guys about what pound flora you should start with, and then you gauge the bite as it is going on. If you see the bite going up, 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 then you are definitely going to want to up your fluorocarbon. Fish as heavy as is possible. One way to do that is by throwing those poppers, and we love the Tuna Riot poppers. Thousands of views on the seminar we did with Pete Thompson from TunaRiotPoppers.com. Get yours today. You know, one thing about fishing a popper, you can fish heavy line. In fact, I would not recommend throwing it with anything less than 50 pounds, 65-pound braid, something like that. You definitely want to go heavy, and they have been super effective this way. Don't forget to go back and watch that seminar if you want to learn more about how to effectively fish the popper and catch more and bigger fish. I know you're going to love that. So overall, really good bluefin tuna fishing going on right now. One can only wonder if we're going to run into that same trouble when we get into the next full moon. We'll be checking that out as we get closer to it, but we are clear right now. And while there's been a little bit of breeze from time to time, the weather has been beautifully flat, calm, and gorgeous. Jeff Lingle, I mentioned him on the yacht, in on the beach this morning, catching some calico bass, looking for some white sea bass, but he's already had spectacular bluefin tuna fishing. He had a 175 and a 163 in the daytime yesterday. He's got 4 bluefin over 100, 3 over $150, and now fishing sea bass and calico bass on the beach. Way to go, Jeff. Thanks again for the update. Hope you're in the chat here, and anybody, if you see Jeff in here, he's more than happy to answer your questions about what's working, what's effective. It's a great way to up your game and get ready for an upcoming trip. To come on this morning briefing when the show premieres. It premieres at a different time every day. Depends upon what time I get out here, how long it takes to edit, and how long the upload takes to get it up on YouTube. Sometime, let's say, around 9 o'clock in the morning, usually 10 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning. Like I said, it's kind of all over the place, but if you tick the little bell, you'll be notified when there's new content. I'm sorry, tick that rotten, filthy, disgusting, deplorable little bell, and you'll be notified when it's coming up. And then jump in there and ask Jeff a question. He's out on the water. He's fishing the bluefin right now. What a great source for you all. All right, let's talk islands. Coronado Islands, same old down there. And by that, I mean, it's not all that bad. I mean, you're not seeing those huge numbers of yellowtail and bluefin tuna, but the variety blows me away. I mean, you can be on the anchor and catch a bluefin, a yellowtail, calico bass, barracuda, whitefish, rockfish. It's pretty darn spectacular when you look at all of that. I absolutely love all that. Grande, 40 guys, 8 bluefin tuna yesterday. San Diego had 5 bluefin and 4 yellowtail. These guys are catching barracuda, whitefish, that kind of stuff. I'm just mentioning the big fish, the exotics. Mission Bell, 5 yellows. Point Loma had 5 bluefin, 3 yellowtail. So there you have the kind of fishing we've got there. But don't forget, they also have all that other razzmatazz mixed up with it. At San Clemente Island, those big yellows are still there. Some days they bite, some days they pick, and some days there's just way too damn many boats there to get it accomplished. Man, it's crazy how many boats have been at Clemente fishing that. You know what the game plan has been for a lot of guys is you go out on Tanner Bank or you go out toward Nicholas, you go offshore and you catch some bluefin, and then you're back into San Clemente Island for that small window of opportunity for these big yellows. And it's normally, or it has been, right before daybreak and then maybe an hour and a half. Gray light kind of bite, fun fishing, big yellows, 25, 45 pound stuff in there. Sometimes a little bit smaller than that, but most of it is fat, nice big forkage, and it's biting pretty darn well at times. Other times, not that great. Dropper loop with live squid or fresh dead squid, still making squid at San Clemente Island here into September, almost September. So pretty good stuff going on there. And the calico bass fishing, Jeff Markland on the Thunderbird pointed out how good it is right now. He pointed that out a few weeks ago, and it's still darn good. Fly lining a sardine right on the lip of the kelp has been an effective way to get it done. The El Patron at Catalina Island, man, you're fishing that light fluorocarbon. If you drop down to 12 and or 15 pound fluoro, you have a limit of bass, no problema, on the El Patron yesterday. That's how good that works. Dropping that fluoro down, fishing a good hot bait makes all the difference in the world. 20 guys on the El Patron, 3 barracuda, 5 sheephead, 43 calico bass, 68 bonita. Sounds like good action to me. And some pretty darn good fishing. www.longbeachsportfishing.org to get on the El Patron. We take you up to the Channel Islands, and we mention the island spirit to you all. Don't forget Captain Daniel Hottaway, his great crew. They're out of Ventura Sport Fishing doing their usual fine work. VenturaSportFishing.com, or you can go and give them a phone call at 805-676-3474. You know, we're not seeing the big numbers of white sea bass and or yellowtail up there right now, or halibut, but man, I'll tell you, the Channel Islands, there's always something good going on. It's been calico bass fishing here recently. That calico bass bite has been awesome with this warm water and calm seas. Beautiful weather mixed up with some barracuda, occasional halibut, that kind of stuff up there right now. Island Spirit is out fishing that stuff on a regular basis. Also plenty of rockfish, the Aloha Spirit, good calico bass fishing along with the gentlemen. They had great fishing. The Island Fox, great fishing, good calico bass fishing going on up there for those guys. And there's still an occasional white sea bass or halibut, but just not the big numbers. A lot of great rockfish up there as we take a long. Hey, is that dog gonna drink my coffee? Huh? What's that dog doing? Wait a minute. Hey, that's black coffee, buddy. You're not gonna like that. Back here we go. Avila Beach, Morro Bay, outstanding fishing going on the rockfish right now. It has been spectacular. Let me tell you, it can't get much better than it is. And of course, we broke the news to you just the other day. How you doing, buddy? Aww. There you go. All right, we got an audience down here. We broke the news to you that our friend was walking around Morro Bay when some private boaters came in with some albacore. Nothing's been caught that I'm aware of, unless guys are keeping a lid on it up there. But I would say in the next week or so, we'll know if there is indeed any volume of fish up there. San Francisco, we continue to see outstanding fishing going on up there in San Francisco for albacore offshore. There's a little bit of bluefin mixed up with it, but here recently, it's been mostly albacore up there, and some pretty good numbers of some nice grade fish, some 20 to 40 pound albacore up there, some smaller, of course. And then you look at lovely Martha Sport Fishing, and their bite for stripers has been fantastic, and it just keeps going on and on and on. Limits of striped bass yesterday for lovely Martha Sport Fishing. They also had 3 halibut to go along with it. Some of their days have been even bigger and better than that. And offshore, if you want to fish rockfish, lingcod, reds, they've certainly been doing that up there with a variety of operations out of San Francisco. Let's talk about our local half-day scene and boys like that down in San Diego picking at the bass right now. A little bit of barracuda gets in there, and there's a few yellows wandering around for the 1/2 and 3/4 day boys down there in that neck of the woods. We take you up to the ocean side and Dana Wharf area. A lot of calico bass, but a lot of shorts, but good action. Good morning, my friend. Good action in that neck of the woods, so we're loving that also. And then we get you up there to the area around Newport Beach and here in the Huntington Flats area. I gotta tell you, native sun yesterday, and they've been cranking some really awesome local days here recently with a variety of fish. What a day on the native sun yesterday as they put the wood to a variety of different fish. Excellent fishing. They had 3 yellowtail, they had a halibut, they had really good calico bass fishing. I don't know how it can get much better than that. Really, really good stuff. A lot of guys just kind of scratching at the bass, falling back on the sculpin and whitefish up there in Redondo. Not as good at bass fishing, calico, as we've seen, but still picking at the bass. Same thing out of Marina del Rey sport fishing in the Southern California surf. I point you down to Big Fish Bait and Tackle in the beautiful city of Seal Beach, California, right there in the corner of Seal Beach Boulevard and PCH, where you can get a free custom rod. They give it away every single month for the biggest surf fish. You just go in there, buy the ruler, and then you are in the tournament, and they'll get you tuned up on exactly what you need to do. Perfect conditions, although, man, as you can see, there is just so much kelp here on the beach. Hopefully it's on the beach and not out where you're trying to make a cast, but I can see a lot of kelp all over here. I'll show you right here. There's a lot of kelp in the water. So if you're trying to throw a jig in this kind of condition or even fish bait, it can be pretty darn difficult. However, I will tell you that a lot of days you can walk your way out of this. And by that I mean, see all this kelp? Go for a walk, man. Get your steps in, catch some vitamin D, and keep walking and walking and walking. And then all of a sudden you'll go, whoa, no kelp here, I can fish. And many times you'll find a little honey hole by doing that. Down there by the Huntington Beach Pier and surrounding areas, Dog Beach, still some pretty good Corbina fishing, not wide open. We're picking off a few Corbina in here, along with some yellowfin croaker. Same thing out there in Redondo Beach, California. That's some pretty good fishing up there on both yellowfin croaker and on the Corbina in that short water. It's been good there for sure. Digging up a sand crab or two is a great way to get a bite if you can lay your grimy hands on some sandworms that you can dig up in the sand. Those things feed on grunion eggs, and there's still a little bit of that around, and those sandworms are still around. That is a superior bait. And here pretty soon, as we move deeper into the fall, we're going to see more and more Corbina. There is no doubt about that. All right, my friends, I don't know what to tell you other than it is beautiful big college football day. Today, I love college football. We're getting ready to go. And even though there's some fantastic games like Ohio State and Texas today, I got my bow pointed to Sunday night in Miami when Notre Dame plays Miami. 2.5 point favorites on the road. All going to depend on C.J. Carr, freshman quarterback, and how he does. I'll be rooting. Don't forget, Cali girls, check them out. I'm telling you, my wife is crazy about, she's crazy about Cali girl stuff. Ruth, I was only kidding. And also, we will be watching everything for you. I'm going to be on board the Dolphin on Tuesday morning out of San Diego. Really looking forward to that with my dear friend Charles Webb from Stoke for Life Foundation. That is going to be a lot of fun. We'll keep you in touch with all the very latest. And of course, well, here's a man who's always asking me, where is Friedman Adventures? And now he has a big reason to go to Friedman Adventures because you're on the show, my friend. Have a great day. Hey, everybody, remember, like, subscribe. Make sure you share these videos everywhere. You can catch us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Have a great day. And I hope to see you really, really soon.